Imagine the Cincinnati Bengals finally securing that one missing piece to ignite their struggling defense into an elite championship caliber unit. We are talking about a move that could fundamentally shift the power balance in the AFC North before the draft even begins. The front office is quietly surveying the landscape for a defensive anchor that can stop the bleeding after last season's historical struggles. But what if the solution is not coming from the draft board at all? There is a shocking trade proposal gaining serious traction that involves an all-pro star. Will the Bengals actually pull the trigger? Jordan Brooks is the name currently echoing through the halls of Paycor Stadium as the potential savior of the Cincinnati Bengals defense. The 28-year-old all-pro linebacker from the Miami Dolphins has surfaced as the primary target in a blockbuster trade proposal that would send a 2026 third-round pick and a seventh-round pick to South Beach. This is not just some random speculation. It is a calculated move to address what is arguably the most vulnerable linebacker room in the entire NFL. While the Bengals have already been aggressive this offseason by bringing in Jonathan Allen to anchor the interior and adding Boy Mafe to provide some juice on the edge, the middle of the field remains a glaring liability that opponents will exploit. Last year, this defensive unit was consistently pushed around, ranking near the bottom of the league in almost every meaningful category. The front office knows that if they want to contend for a Super Bowl while Joe Burrow is in his prime, they cannot afford to have a developmental project at linebacker. They need a proven, battle-tested tackle machine who can diagnose plays instantly. Jordan Brooks fits that description perfectly. Coming off a season where he recorded a staggering 183 total tackles, including 99 solo stops, his ability to navigate through traffic and secure ball carriers is exactly what this defense lacked during their most frustrating stretches last autumn. However, securing a talent like Brooks is never a simple process, especially when you consider the financial implications and the draft capital involved. The Dolphins are reportedly in a rebuilding phase, which makes them open to discussions, but the Bengals are not the only ones looking for defensive upgrades. As we dive deeper into the locker room dynamics, it becomes clear that this move is about more than just stats. It is about filling a massive leadership void that has existed since the departure of key veterans. The question now is whether Duke Tobin and the coaching staff are willing to sacrifice future assets to win right now. There is also the significant shadow of other roster changes looming over this decision that could change everything about how the Bengals value their current defensive assets moving forward today. If you believe Jordan Brooks is the missing elite piece that finally turns this Bengals defense into a Super Bowl winner, you need to hear the rest of this plan. We are pushing hard to hit our goal of 500 subscribers to keep bringing you these exclusive insider updates. Do you think a third-round pick is a fair price for an all-pro linebacker in his prime? Smash that like button and subscribe right now so you never miss a breaking report from inside the building. Your support keeps this channel alive. Now, let us look at the other major defensive shakeup. Trey Hendrickson is the name that continues to complicate the long-term defensive strategy for the Cincinnati Bengals as they navigate this pivotal off-season period. The uncertainty surrounding the edge rusher position has forced the front office to reconsider how they allocate their resources across the entire defensive front. While the addition of Boy Mafe was a smart move to mitigate potential losses, the Bengals are still searching for that perfect synergy between the pass rush and the second level of the defense. This is precisely why the pursuit of Jordan Brooks has become such a high-priority discussion behind closed doors. You cannot expect a defensive line to perform at its peak if the linebackers behind them are consistently missing assignments or failing to clean up in the run game. Brooks brings a level of consistency that would alleviate the pressure on the entire front four. Looking at his metrics from last season, his PFF grade placed him among the top 10 linebackers in the league, a testament to his versatility in both run support and passing situations. The Bengals' current linebacker group is young and possesses raw athleticism, but they have yet to show they can dominate an NFL game or lead a championship defense. Adding an all-pro like Brooks would provide an immediate mentor and a reliable playmaker who can stay on the field for all three downs. This is the kind of move that winning franchises make when they sense their window is wide open. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Bengals have been more active on the trade phones than they usually are this time of year, indicating a sense of urgency that we haven't seen in previous cycles. They are looking for players who can contribute immediately, not 3 years from now. The potential departure of key veterans has left a hole in the team's identity, and the front office is determined to redefine that identity through aggressive acquisitions. Brooks represents a shift in philosophy for a team that has historically been conservative with trades. But in an AFC loaded with elite quarterbacks and high-powered offenses, standing pat is the same as moving backward. The Bengals are clearly done waiting for internal development to solve their biggest problems. They are ready to go out and get the talent they need to compete at the highest level once again this season. The strategic impact of bringing Jordan Brooks to the Queen City would be felt across the entire AFC North landscape immediately. For head coach Zach Taylor and the defensive staff, having a linebacker with Brooks' sideline-to-sideline speed allows for much more creative blitz packages and diverse coverage schemes. In a division where you have to face physical rushing attacks and mobile quarterbacks twice a year, having a sure tackler like Brooks is not a luxury. It is a necessity. The front office is looking at the 2026 third-round pick as a small price to pay for a guaranteed defensive anchor, who is still in his physical prime at 28 years old. This move would also signal to the rest of the locker room and the fans that the Bengals are fully committed to maximizing the championship window provided by their current offensive core. We have seen other teams like the Rams and the Chiefs use aggressive trades to bolster their rosters before deep playoff runs, and it seems Cincinnati is finally adopting that same aggressive mindset. If this trade goes through, it likely changes the Bengals' approach to the upcoming NFL draft as well. Instead of being forced to reach for a linebacker in the first or second round, they could focus on adding more depth to the offensive line or finding another dynamic weapon for Joe Burrow. This flexibility is invaluable in a draft where the elite talent is top-heavy. The long-term plan here is clearly about building a sustainable winner that does not rely solely on the offense scoring 30 points a game. The front office has recognized that the defensive unit's inability to get off the field was their Achilles' heel last year. By adding Jonathan Allen, Boy Moff, and potentially Jordan Brooks, they are systematically removing every excuse for this defense to fail. The pressure will be on the coaching staff to integrate these new pieces quickly, but the talent upgrade would be undeniable. This is a franchise-altering decision that could define the next 3 years of Bengals football. The move reflects a broader realization that the gap between being a playoff team and a Super Bowl champion is often found in the quality of your veteran leadership on the defensive side of the ball. Everyone in the building knows the stakes are higher than ever. At the end of the day, the potential acquisition of Jordan Brooks represents a massive turning point for the Cincinnati Bengals organization and its loyal fan base. It is a loud and clear message that the days of settling for good enough on defense are officially over. This is about building a unit that can stand tall in the fourth quarter of a January game at Arrowhead or Baltimore. Adding an all-pro tackle machine who is coming off his best professional season would immediately transform the Bengals' biggest weakness into a position of strength and stability. It gives this team the physical identity they have desperately lacked since their Super Bowl run. For the fans, this is the kind of news you have been waiting to hear all off-season. It shows that the front office is listening and that they are willing to be bold to bring a trophy back to Cincinnati. But as we know in the NFL, a trade is never finished until the pens hit the paper. The next few weeks will be critical as the Bengals and Dolphins continue to negotiate the fine details of this proposal. If they can pull this off, the rest of the league needs to be on high alert because the Bengals will have 0 holes left on their roster. This move is about more than just one player. It is about the soul of this defense and the future of this franchise. We want to know what you think about this potential blockbuster. Is Jordan Brooks the man to lead this defense back to the top, or should the Bengals keep their draft picks and look for help elsewhere? This is a massive moment for the team, and we want your voice to be heard in the comments section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you are the first to know when this deal becomes official. We are almost at our 500 subscriber goal, and we can only get there with your help. Don't forget to like this video if you want to see the Bengals make more aggressive moves like this. This is the year to go all in, and we will be here every step of the way to cover it. WHO DEY!